Hello, and welcome to part 6 of Divinity, the Original Sin 2. It's my solo run. Now, last time we left off, I was trying to save a sorcerer from a group of magisters. It didn't end so well, so I had to reload because I need to have that guy alive to be able to continue the story properly. So today we're going to try again, but first we have to go through all this again.
Weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? Just so.
So I said, say that it means total responsibility to others.
To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Rivellon.
If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice.
But make no mistake, the divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The divine cannot use her power for anything else.
I'm going to just say understand.
Very well then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
I'm just going to get started immediately since we've been through this.
Anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Alright, here's the cupboard she's talking about.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
Alright, so I already have the source. And then gotta go over here, hit the book. So I'm actually gonna grab the earth essence here because I can actually use those in my arrows. Oh, I can turn the fireplace off. Okay, I was wondering what that was. Source orbs. I think last time I got really lucky on some items that were firestorm grenades in there. Oh. Luck hit me again, but this time a different item. And that invisibility potion could be nice. Alright, let's go over here. And then do our little mixture. Alright. Ritual bowl. Blackroot. I need to use it first. Then I can mix it. And then combine. Oh. Alright, now we can set this right here on this grate. And exit out of that, and boom.
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading.
Okay, a little bit of a quick explanations for those of you who are new here, I guess. The reason why... sorry. Even though I've been through all this before, the reason why I'm still sitting, letting whether it be the narrator or someone I'm talking to finish their speech, even if I've been through it before in a previous video, doesn't mean that you're all watching it all the way through. So I decided I'm going to let it go through each time. I'm going to try to remember to tell you what I'm going to select, what option I'm going to select. I might even read them off for you. And then continue on from there. So in this case, we're going to go hold the fumes so we can continue forward.
As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
Deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen! Come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am.
Alright, let's step closer.
Look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell and see.
Alright, now we gotta use our new skill, which I'm gonna move over.
Dawn is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god pt.6 in all his spectral glory.
You know me, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful, and now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge. My last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
pt.6 nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god.
Last time I went with this. Tell him not to be greedy. Quite frankly, you need all the source you can get. And he doesn't take too kindly to that statement. So, instead, I'm gonna make it worse. And tell him not to be so dramatic.
Immortality is only permanent, my dear. Until one day, it simply ceases to be. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion.
Okay, so in my last stream, and I guess last YouTube video, sorry about that. No, that's probably nasty. Probably should have muted. My bad. I've said that I'm not the biggest fan of Tyrus Sindelius. He seems a little bit too full of himself, in my opinion. So I don't really like his attitude towards your character. So, like, I get that he's like some immortal being. He's some god, apparently. So I get that he's got the ego of one. It just doesn't sit with me well how he acts. So that's why I kind of give this a little bit somewhere between passive-aggressive versus, like, kind of a aggravated tone towards him in my selections. So last time I also went for this one. Won't stand for this. Must be a way to save him still. This time, I'm just gonna go full-blown jerk here and say, wouldn't have begged him for a defeatist.
Our battle is a work in progress. I never said we can't turn the tide. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension.
So, I went with the Scholar last time. I think I'm going to stick with the Scholar this time. Just because it makes me sound smart.
It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads. And you must be the first to reach it at all costs.
I went with this last time. Like, why am I my character's the one that's has to win? It's just, what's the point? But then he kind of informs you that it's not just, you're not just going to be taking a little bit of the power and becoming a new, like, divine, like, tier here. You're actually going to take it all and become this penultimate being that has all the power. And for this, this time I'm gonna go with this one, just because I want to.
It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism and a dreadful mistake to boot, which we must rectify. The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only she who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator.
I think I went with this one last time. And he informs you that they either follow you or they die, essentially. So this time I think I'm gonna go with this one. Although it makes my character seem a little bit on the arrogant side, I don't mind.
I hope you understand them to their full extent. The other gods must either bow to you or be undone.
Okay, so he pretty much gave me the same line as he did last time. So, moving on.
Of course, that is what they are saying to their own god Woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are, the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your murderous hands.
That makes me sound like a serial killer. I'm not a big fan of that. But he kind of gives you that line no matter what you say here, I think.
But don't let that dismay you, for these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in.
I think I went with this last time. but I don't remember for certain. So I'm gonna go with this.
I promise that yours alone will be the powers of the lake, and to the lake I will lead you. But not yet. Not until you've become a true master of the Source. Until you speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
I'm gonna go with this one just because it makes me laugh.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
Perhaps. But what is a pilgrimage after all, if not a journey of atonement, in search of enlightenment? Focus not on death and irony, my chosen. On life and ascension instead. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here.
I'm just gonna take my leave.
Best of luck, my champion.
No idea why these two showed up here, but
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
I'm gonna stick with this answer. I used it last time too.
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough Source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps?
Tell her that it's not like it's easy just to open up channels to the Source. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with